everyone, it's me again. I just thought I would show you how to make pom-poms with these little plastic pom-pom makers. I know some of you have been having problems with them, so I just want to show you how easy it is to do this. I've got my pom-pom sets in here. I've got two different types, which I'll show you how to use both of them in case you've got different ones. So what you need is some wool for your pom-poms, sharp scissors, and your pom-pom makers. So first of all, I'll show you what's in my little black bag. Okay, here we go. Here's my pom-pom makers. You can see them there. I've got quite a few here. We've got these type of ones, which are the clover ones, that come usually in a pack of 4. They look, if you open them, they look like this. Okay, they look like that, and you think, oh my god, what do I do with that? I'll show you in a little while what to do with that. This one makes a pom-pom of 85 is it millimeters, 8.5 centimeters. So we'll fold that one up there. So that's your biggest one. That's the biggest one I've got, and the smallest one I've got is are these two, and I think the purple one is slightly smaller and it's tiny whiny, but it works exactly the same way. But I can't actually see. Oh, that's a 25. That's a 2.5 on there. I can just see it on the little white bit there. 2.5 centimetre, and this one is a 2 centimetre. So the pink one is the smallest one. The pink one is the smallest one. And that's the 2.5. Okay, then we've got this one is the next size up, which is a 35, 3.5 centimetres. That's 3.5 centimetres. And then we've got the 45 centimetre, millimetre, 45 millimetre, 4.5 centimetre one. That's already pre-wound, so I'll show that's the reason for that. And then this one is a 65 millimetre. Okay, so they go up in 20s, well, apart from the little ones here. So, and then we've got these type of ones, which, you know, they look even more strange. They look like something you throw for your dog for them to go and catch. But these work the same way as these ones do, except that they're not joined like these ones are. They're not joined with a pin. So these ones just go like that. Okay, and I'll show you how to use those ones. This one is obviously the same size as that. That makes an 85 millimetre. Then you've got a smaller one, which is pre-wound, and I'll show you. Then you've got your yellow and your green ones. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'll show you. I'll get the green one. I'll use the green one. I've got it's just acrylic, double knitted and acrylic. That pink is what I used on these ones here, but I'll show you why that's pre-wound. It's pre-wound especially just for the video, so I don't have to keep wind. So what you do with these, the clover ones, these are quite easy as well. You can see they spin around. Now, if you open these like that, okay, and then they pull apart like that, and that is how you get your pom-pom off. But to actually make the pom-pom, you need them to be together. Okay, and the pom-poms are made on two sides, so you don't have them like that, you have them like that. Okay, so we're going to wind the wool yarn onto these two together. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold that one up for the time being, and then we're going to start our winding. You don't have to tie it on. You can if you want, but you don't have to. I just sort of like hold it like this, put the yarn between my fingers there and just wind it around. So you'll just sort of wind it around and around and around. Just wind it around all the way up and down like this. I hope you can see what I'm doing, because I can't see what I'm filming because I've got it on a tripod. So this little bit here, you can actually wind that around there. It won't come undone because you're going to go over that, so you just sort of wind and wind and wind and wind it over. It doesn't matter if it sticks up or something, because you're going, when you cut it, when you cut the pom-pom off the frame, so it will start to look like that. Okay, so you just go backwards and forwards until you actually fill up your thing. So it will start to get fatter and fatter and fatter as you wind. Try to keep the yarn off, because sometimes you might slip. Try to keep the yarn off of these green bits and keep it, because you see sort of, I'll show you what I mean. If you sort of wind and you go, you might sort of go by accident like that. Okay, try not to get, I mean, it's not anything drastic, but it will just make it all uneven when you come to cut it off. So just sort of push it back. Okay, so you just keep on and on and on and on and on and on until you filled it up. Okay, and then when you filled it up, or gone as far as you want to go, it's going to look like the pink one here. It's going to sort of literally be equal with the yellow bit at the bottom or whatever. So once you've done that, you'll fold it over. Okay, so you fold it over like that, and then you cut it off, cut the yarn off, and start the other side and do exactly the same thing, and then until you've got both of them. So you've got two. Okay, like that. Okay, and then you close that up. It will stay closed, okay, while the yarn's on it. I'll move the green one out of the way. And then what you do is, from the folded end here, it's best to cut. I always cut from the folded end to the straight end there. So sharp scissors, and then you gently snip. These are not the sharpest of scissors, but they'll do. Okay, then you just snip all the way along like that, all the way along. Make sure all the threads are cut. So that one's missed one there. So when you actually come to cut that, pull that off, it will stay on. So make sure that it's cut. Oh, that one's cut. Okay, so that doesn't really matter. So you just make sure that all your threads in there are cut. Okay, try and keep it straight and turn it over And we'll do the next side, which is exactly the same. And then we just cut all the threads through there. Okay, so we've got all the threads cut both sides. There we go. There's your threads cut there. So then we will take some of the yarn that's the same colour as your pom-pom, pink in this case. And I always like to double it. Then what you do is you just tie around in between the yellow there. So where you got you go in between your ends there and tie a knot. So I will do the knot. I will go one with both of those strands. I will go once and twice. Okay, then gently pull it tight as you can, and then again another knot. So hopefully you've got that on there as tightly as you can. And now it's time to take it off. So with your flat ends there, you push it up, and there you've got your fluffy bit. And you turn it over and push up the other side. And then you grab hold of your white bits and pull that one side off. Take your pom-pom out, and there is your pom-pom. I like to do this just to fluff it up, and then you can see your pom-pom there. Look, that's lovely. And then what you can do is trim it. I always sort of like trim over just the little end bits off because I love a nice spiky pom-pom. But there's always ones that are sticking up longer than others, and you can just trim them. I'm not going to go mad and trim them all right now, but that just shows you got your little, and again I'm just going to spin it round like that, and then we've got your little pom-pom. And there you go, and it works exactly the same principle for all the sizes. So that's the pom-pom on the clover makers, and then you just put that back in there and we start all over again. Okay, now I've got all little pink fluffy bits everywhere. Now this one I'll use the yellow again. These ones are slightly different. They work on the same principle, but they're slightly different. So they've got little hinges here. These are the little hinges which will open out. I'll show you in a minute. That is your little clasp to hold the pom-pom together while you cut it. So if you just open your clasp, it will come out in two pieces like we saw with the clover, like this. Yeah, so like you say, it still works on the same principle, but what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to do the other side. So again, we unclip it and we open it. So we've got our two pieces, and we make sure that we've got our hinge in the middle like that, and we've got bumps on one side, holes on the other side, bumps on one side and holes on the other side, so it holds together like that. Okay, now you have to be a bit more fiddly with this because you have to hold it while you start to wind it. I will cut that off because I need the blue, so I'll just, there we go. I'll finish that one later. So what I tend to do is make sure it's all equal and clipped in. Well, it doesn't clip in, it just holds in where the bumps are. And then again, you just start to wind like you did with the clover type ones. You just start to wind backwards and forwards like you did with the other ones. So I mean, you see that's dropped down there, but that it doesn't matter now, because if it drops down it doesn't matter, because we're just working on this one side. So again, backwards and forwards. Until you get to how thick you want the pom-pom. If you want it to come all the way down, it doesn't have to come all the way down. You can do smaller ones that wouldn't be less fluffy. But again, you go along and along and along, backwards and forwards, as you would have been doing with the clover ones. Okay, so same principle. And then when you've finished, you'd cut the yarn, turn it around, and do the same this side. Okay, you just wind, 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 wind. Okay, I'll leave that, and then I'll show you the pink. I'll show you. Okay, so that's your pink. That's the pink one that I've wound. Now these little clasps here are these clasps. So when you've wound them, I'll leave that one there. When you've actually wound that, just imagine that's wound. You close it, and then you just push the clasps down so that it stays in place while you cut it. Okay, so they're the little clasps. So again, you close the clasps up like that, push them down so that it holds it in place while you cut it. So this one is already held down. I'll just, oh, I've pulled that one off now. Yeah, anyway, so so you put your clasps on, that one's come off, but it easily pops back on again, so it's not a problem. There we go. And then again, we'll cut it. We start from the folded end, and along we go with our scissors, cutting round. I really need to sharpen these scissors. I have got sharper ones, but where they are, I've got no idea. I've got scissors, more scissors than you can shake a stick at. Okay, so we're getting through this one. This one's a bit bigger than the other pink one, so that's, I think this one's about 50 millimetre one, 5 centimetres, about 2 inches. So again, we've got the one side all cut there, all the threads are all cut there, and just keep going. So that's the next side. So we just keep snipping away there. And the less you put on your scissors, the quicker it takes. But I'm just sort of trying to rush here to get it done, to show you how lovely these pom-poms are. I have got a book somewhere, a little pattern book that makes animals. You actually wind the yarn onto the pom-pom maker, and when you cut it, it makes it in the shape of animals. It's really great. I'll have to get it and show everybody. Right, so we've got, that's all cut there now. So we need a bit of the again, I'll double that. And then we just need to thread it round exactly the same way as we did with the other ones. Okay. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. So again, tie it once and twice and gently pull it. But remember, pull it as tight as you can. Ooh. Pull it as tight as you can, and then just put another little knot in it just for safekeeping, if you like. And then again we can take it off. So we take off the clasps there, and we open. Oops, fell off again. Okay, take that off, and then we take that off there like that, and then we give it a bit of a, and there you go again. There's your bigger pom-pom. And like us, you say, you just trim it all up, and then you've got some really pretty pom-poms. That's I'd say that was a 5-inch. I don't know, it doesn't actually say on these ones what size is on these little. Oh yes it does, 7, beg my pardon. That's a 7 centimetre, that one. It does actually say on there. So that's a 7 centimetre. This one is a 9 centimetre. This one is 5.5. And the little green one is a 3.5. So between all these lot, I've got quite a selection of pom-pom sizes. So basically everybody, ladies and gents, that is how you use these pom-pom makers. Any questions, just give me a shout. I love making pom-poms. I used to make them with 2 pieces of card when I was a kid. But, you know, with today's technology and everything, it's made it more easier for us to make anything really. But I will dig out that little book that I've got of the little animals to make, and I will show you. Actually, I've got one upstairs that I put on a hair scrunchie. I think it's a little rabbit. It's upstairs in my bedroom because, believe it or not, I do wear it sometimes. 62 years old and still wearing bunny scrunchies. Yes, grow up, Jew, grow up. Anyway, yes, so I'll find that and I'll post a photograph of it. But in the meantime, have a practice, show me what you've done. So it'll be excellent to see how you manage these lovely pom-pom makers, because I love mine. I've had these for years and years and years, these ones. These ones I've bought pretty recently. I got them on Temu. So, and yeah, I suppose you could get them on Amazon as well. Anything you can get on Temu, you can get on Amazon, but it's more expensive. So I'm just going to start picking up all these bits of pink fluff now. Let me see what you do with your pom-pom makers, and I will see you later. TTFN, yarn fans.